Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. The Romeo and Juliet Rap. By me, Jerry Grimes. Two star-crossed lovers chilling out in Verona. Juliet and Romeo, who's feeling all alone. A girl didn't like him back, doesn't know his name. Mercutio takes him to a party in search of female game. The gang arrives and does a little dance. Lover boy says Juliet and gets in the mood for romance. Drops a couple smooth lines and kisses her hand. Tries to prove that he can be her man. Later he leaves forgetting Ra's a line. He's head over heels and feeling fine. Juliet asks about the boy, where he's from and who. The nurse regrets to say that he's a Montague. Get back to the guys, drunk and stumbling around. Romeo hides away without making a sound. Over the walls and lands on his feet. He hears Juliet speak of him. Aw, how sweet. Calls out to her, gives her a scare. Then she has to ask for art thou come aware. She says that his name is keeping them apart, but Romeo has an unforgiving heart. He explains with her love he'll be new baptized. Juliet liked the idea and then realized Romeo doesn't skedaddle, the guards will kill him dead. But he was still impaled by Cupid's arrowhead. Up higher he went on the balcony, for more and more kisses given generously. Nurse calls from within, it's time to end the fun. They share another kiss and Juliet has to run. She comes back out for the final goodbye. Parting brings such sorrow, enough to make you cry. The next day, Romeo's kicking back with the friar in order to get approval to take his love a level higher. Lawrence asks about his previous crush, and Romeo says that this marriage must be rushed. Later, the nurse is asked to find more on Romeo, and she comes across Mercutio and Benvolio. Mercutio cracks some jokes, a few more than mean. Now we'll make a quick skip to the sixth scene. Here comes Juliet down the aisle, such a cutie, and Romeo stares in awe at her wondrous beauty. That's B-E-A. Beauty, not the, They kiss and are married in secret, of course. It rubbed their fathers the wrong way, might feel a bit coarse. The next scene fills me with sadness and dread, for Tybalt gets too hot for even his own head. He duels Mercutio, slays him in the streets, then must flee, for the prince's law no one beats. Romeo is devastated, filled with rage, like a starving rabid dog let out of his cage. When Tybalt returns, they fight with force and might. Romeo gives a stab, not a weak little stick, to end the life of this short-tempered person. Bodies taken to the prince by each family. Someone must be guilty, it's plain to see. Romeo did what the law would have done, but someone had to be punished, and he was the one. Instead of death, the prince compromised. Romeo is banished, which was to be advertised. The nurse informed Juliet of the awful occurrence. Romeo had to get gone with agility and endurance. Juliet was torn. Which side should she choose? Her cousin, her husband? Talk about the blues. Romeo whined like a baby in the friar's presence, looking like a young girl in a family of peasants. Nurse talks sense into our boy. His last night with Juliet would fill him with at least some joy. Capulet is talking with Paris, who's not bad, but picking Juliet's husband, you aren't number one dad. At first it's to keep her from being so sad, but Romeo's the only one by St. Peter who can make her glad. After hearing the idea, she recoils in disgust, although Capulet says it's a definite must. She lost support from her mom. Even the nurse agrees that marrying Paris is just the bee's knees. A plan to get away from this man. No one can help better than the friar can. She goes seeking guidance in just what to do when Friar Lawrence uses the greens from Scene 3, Act 2. A potion for sleeping, that's what you'll drink. A message sent to Romeo with happy thoughts for him to think. In a few days you'll awake and he will be there. Joyous times will be had, living without a care. Off she must go to prepare for her slumber. Oh, poor Paris didn't even get her number. The day of the wedding, someone wakes Juliet, when they're greeted with a situation that inflicts great fret. Dead she is, oh me, oh my. Her father shouts to the heavens, oh God, why? Now they must prepare for burial in the tomb. Only a few days to pass, she'll wake up soon. Balthazar saw the whole thing. News he knew would make Romeo's ears ring. Paris and his page visit love's final place. When Paris hears a signal to find a hiding space, Romeo comes in and says, Balthazar, scram, or I'll rip you up like a dog with a Christmas ham. Balthazar runs and hides to stay on standby, just in case Romeo does more to himself than cry. Paris comes out, he and Romeo fight. Our bachelor falls, less graceful than a kite. Romeo observes his dead bride. Although she appeared healthy, at least on the outside, he pulls out the poison that he purchased before and ends his life 2 minutes prior to when the friar walks through the door. An instant after that, Juliet awakes. If only someone had gone to Romeo and slammed on the brakes. The friar says that they don't have time to mourn. Guards grow closer, he tries to warn. Juliet doesn't care, she must stay. So the friar decides it's time to run away. She cries and pleads and questions why. Why did Romeo have to die? She draws his blade and labels herself its sheath, and buries it in her flesh, deep beneath. Enter the guards, and the friar slips in, to an aftermath that can only be described as grim. Then the heads of the families are hit with a devastating blow, and the friar spills everything that he had come to know. Capulet and Montague are inclined to show praise for each other's kins while overwhelmed with woe. Life comes with happiness, but mourning minute must go, and there was never something as sad as Juliet and her Romeo.